Hello and welcome to another episode of Minecraft Realms, and once again I'm starting things off back at my base just outside my sorting system. Now last episode I created this entire sorting system that you're seeing now, all the wood things on that side, various mob drops and the tools which aren't actually being sorted, as well as all the stones, so the granite and the diorite and the andesite, the cobble and so on and so forth, and of course the dirt and whatnot. So things that haven't been sorted yet are things like the prismarine blocks and quartz and concrete powder and all that kind of stuff. In fact, I've got about 5 double chests or 6 double chests of things. So you can see here I've still got all that things there, a golden apple, enchanted apple actually, quartz, prismarine in there, feathers, sticks, fish and books in there, just all sorts of things. And there you can see some of the plant material that I also have collected. And of course we've got a lot of iron. I think we've got around 7, 8, 9 stacks of iron blocks. Let's just count it up and see. So you can see there, yeah, quite a lot of iron there, as well as some various bits in bots, some slime, flowers, and of course over here we've got all the redstone material that I've still got, and I did top up my supplies from the Raw 8 shop back at the shopping district. But what I've got planned for today, finally, is to start building up this side of the sorting system, so mostly putting in all those things. So what I'm thinking at the moment, just like last episode, is having a couple of things of perhaps redstone here and prismarine here, and on the other side I might put some plant materials, so carrots, potatoes, wheat, seeds, feathers. Maybe that's where I should move the pork to, because currently pork's over here. And yeah, so various things, and then from then on it'll go into the I think it's 16 different colors, so white dye and red dye, and those things will contain concrete powder and terracotta and glazed terracotta and the dye itself, so all sorts of things. Not the flowers, because I don't know how I'm going to sort them. But yeah, so let's get straight into this episode, shall we? Now, one thing I noticed that is on this side, I've tried to make sure that it was always lined up, so both the left side and the right side of the passages were always lined up with their barrier things, with their segments. No, not quite sure that's going to be possible on this side, on the other side now, because just looking at the first few things, the prismarine, there's 12 or so different, not that chest, there's 12 different types there, and I had a look at the quartz, no, 13 different types. I had a look at the quartz earlier, and there's only about 6 of those, so the other side's going to be, these left-hand side is going to be a little bit less organized, less aligned. Now one thing I do need to check is how many different redstone things there are, and this chest is by no means a comprehensive list, but you can see there's the hoppers, the redstone torches, redstone dust, repeaters, dispensers, droppers, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pistons, 7 observers, 8 sticky pistons, 9 redstone comparators, 10, and then I'll make all this dust so that it doesn't take another chest, so that's 10 I think, and there's probably a few more things. I'll check what do you think with this thing? I'll check this thing, so redstone, and oh yeah, redstone lamps, that's another one there. I should probably just turn it so it's not craftable. Redstone stuff, I think that's about it. So 13 or so different types of redstone, so that's going to be a little bit difficult as well. But then again, I probably could align the green and the red, the green prismarine and the redstone right opposite each other. And I really want that. Do I want it from this entrance or the other entrance? I think I'll go in this entrance, because I tend to hang around a little bit more on this side, on the meat farm and exit side. So I'll put the redstone and the prismarine here and get started on that now. And with a little bit of time, I've now managed to create this. This is what's going to be the quartz area. So there's the 7 bits that I need for the quartz, and now I need to go around and I'll show you the other bit in a second when I finish something. Let's see. And on this side I've got the prismarine things, so I think there's 13 or so different types. And on this side I've decided to go with red brick, or red nether brick, instead of normal nether brick, with all the redstone things. Now I don't have jukeboxes or what's the other thing there, note blocks, but I don't think I'm going to be using those often, and I would think that these 13 odd items are the things that I'm going to be using most with redstone things, so hence why I've got them. Now the only thing I need to do now is hook these into the system, and then I should be able to start moving on to the next bit, which I'll get to when I'm finished them. Well, it appears I've made a little bit of a mistake with the quartz bits. While there are 7 or actually 8 different types of quartz, there's the smooth quartz stairs as well as the smooth quartz slabs. I haven't yet been able to find the recipe to make those things. I probably should check it out. You can see there the smooth quartz blocks, but I can't quite figure out how to make smooth quartz blocks. You can see there I've got the word smooth in the left hand side in there, and you can see smooth quartz stairs and smooth quartz slabs, but nothing about smooth quartz blocks. So what I'm thinking of doing is I'm just going to cut out the two remaining things on the left here, and then I'll just leave it as those blocks. And there we go, this is now fully kitted out. Now you may note that the redstone line ends just there, and I haven't quite hooked up this side, either of these two sides yet, and that's because I still need this hopper line to go all the way around and end up on this side here, and then it'll cross over to the redstone blocks. So the redstone blocks are actually going to be, redstone section is going to be near the end of the hopper line, which is a little bit unfortunate, but that can't really be helped. What I've got planned next is to start laying out the network for the remaining blocks. And one thing I forgot to mention earlier is that you may know I've got all the vegetable things here, the seeds, the sugar canes. Feathers aren't really vegetable, but I'm going to count them there anyway. Bamboo, I've still got the carrots, potatoes, the wheat, I suppose I could do beetroot, but I'm not really planning to do beetroot because I don't really use beetroot much at all, and it's not a tradable item as far as villagers are concerned. So yeah, I'm thinking of doing all that. What I'm planning to do is have a massive crop farming area, maybe here and maybe off in this direction here, and that will have its own sorting system. So that will be completely separate to the one down here. So any stuff that does get sorted will be sorted in its own system, and the things that are harvested in what I'm going to eventually have as a automatic crop farm with the villagers, that's not going to continually flood this system with carrots and potatoes and wheat and seeds and all that jazz. So that's the plan. So anyway, the next bit I've got to do now is start thinking about how I'm going to do all the remaining items, all the glass, the terracotta, the glazed terracotta and all that. And while I've been contemplating what to do with the storage system, I went off and killed the wither, which is something I've been trying to do for a little while now. I had 3 skulls, I had the 4 soul sand, so I went off to the little place and killed off the wither, and now what I want to do now is get myself a fully powered beacon and put that at my tree farm. I think that's enough obsidian, and that should help me with my tree farming, because another thing what I'm also doing at the moment is refilling my stocks of all the kinds of logs, and which is something I really should have been done a little bit earlier, but because it's not slow to chop down all those trees, but it's not exactly fast either. And one of the suggestions that was made on my Discord was also to put in a beacon there. So as soon as I finish this up, if I can find the glass, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 glass and 3 obsidian, I'll just quickly go down here and make my beacon. There we go. Woof. And now I'll go dig out the hole and put in what do you call it? All the iron blocks and all the things that I need, and come back when I'm finished. Now let's see. I kind of want the beacon where it can also reach these things as well as this tree farm. So let's see. I think over here is going to be an appropriate spot. Plus it's all fenced off with the fences and the tree farm. So let's see. I need a 7 by 7 area. So let's make this the corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yep, and then 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So now if I dig that down, I think it's 5 blocks, and then I should be able to build up the pyramid and get the thing done quickly. And after a little bit of mishaps, I accidentally put a 9 wide bottom one, then I put a 6 square on the second story, which is a little bit annoying, but anyway, this beacon is now ready to go. It's fully powered, I believe, so we'll go haste 1 and we'll go haste 2, and there we go. Is that going? Yes, we now have haste 2. Let's just put a red beam on that, and so it's nice and obvious. And we'll now get started on chopping down those trees. I'll quickly show you exactly what it looks like as soon as I can get in there. Let's open this up, and we'll go up to the top level of this. And turns out isn't really that much better. Yeah, it's a little bit faster. I'm not sure if it's worth the beacon, but this should helpfully improve. I think earlier I was going at about a second per log, and here I'm going every second. I'm going a little bit faster. So then again, yeah, it's when you're doing a lot of logs, when you're doing a lot of harvests, like I had to do for the tree farm, for the log shop. This is definitely worth the beacon. And now that I've finished off replenishing my wood supplies, with all the logs except birch now fully replenished, it's now time for me to turn back into the storage system. And earlier I mentioned that I was trying to do up the colored blocks, and as I have discovered, there are, I think it's 16 different colors, so red, orange, yellow, lime green, green, cyan, blue, light grey, dark grey, or just grey as it is here, black, brown, white, pink, magenta, and purple. So there's 16 different colors, so that means 16 different segments. Now, as you can see just in this top row here, there's 8 different types of colored things. I could do banners, but I don't think they stack too easily, or I don't particularly want to store banners, because then I'd have to go into all the different kinds of things. So if you look at here, banner, yes, I could do banners, but then you could put all the colors, things, and letters, like the letters in my shops and all that. So banners is not something I'm planning to do. So that all said, there are 9, as you can see here, 9 different things, not counting flowers. So the dye, the glass panes, the glass itself, the terracotta, the glazed terracotta, the concrete, the red concrete powder, the wool, and the red carpet. So there's those things, and 9 times 16 is quite a lot of different spaces. I think that comes up to 146, if my mental math is correct. And I would like to have those scattered around here. So you would have red on this side, then orange, then yellow, then green, then blue, and so on and so forth. There are a few blocks that I've yet to think about where to put them in. If I can just find an example of one, because my memory fails me right now. They're things like ladders and rail and things like that, so I think I'm going to have to leave a segment for all the sundry blocks. But at any rate, I think I'm going to get started on building the coloured blocks now. And as you can see here, I've now laid out the frame for the red segment. Now I'm going to have to be a little bit more inventive with my stairs here, because none of the dyes have any particular kind of stairs. There's no concrete slabs or staircases or things like that, so I might have to dig into my wood supplies or the stone supplies. So for the red one, I'm thinking of using what's this one? The polished granite. So I'm gonna have to make some of that up right now, and then I'll have it tested and see how it looks. Let's see. So I need 9 times 2. I need at least 18 of them. So there's 21. Let's have a look and see how this goes. So along the bottom, and along the top, and it's not perfect, obviously, it's still a little bit off, but it's better than the rest, and so I'm going to have to continue with that with the rest. So I'll just go through some of the ones I'm thinking as well. For orange, I'm thinking acacia, yellow, I'm thinking birch, greens are going to be a bit difficult, as are the blues, and the greys and blacks as well. There's quite a few of them which I'm going to struggle with doing so, but I'm going to just have to keep building and going on. Actually, now that I think about it, the green ones could use some of the prismarine again. It just won't have the smooth texture like here, like I feel it, just smooth transition from the block to the stair. But I suppose that can't really be helped unless Mojang start adding in concrete slabs and stairs, which I suppose I'd support, but it's not particularly needed at the moment, and it just means I'm going to have to remodel my sorting system once again. But hopefully that comes in the next season of Realms, when I reset the world and restart all over again. And here I've just dumped off some chicken for poisonous edits. So now let's just go and continue off my storage system things. Why is he following me? Oh no, please don't tell me is it. Oh no. That's a big pity. Anyway, I'm gonna have to continue that, but that's a big pity. I am tagged again, so that's a big pity. Well, I'm just wandering around here, and I've just noticed that this is now empty. There used to be a bed in here, and I just got told that my... what is this? That my enchanting table is also gone, so that's not very good. I believe that Poisonous Edith is trying to pull a prank on me, so that's not very good at all. But I did see him digging around here earlier and just didn't think much of it. So I'm going to have to rebuild this up and not drop my sword and all that. Just a second. Let's rebuild that and then I'll go over to what he wants. Okay. What does he want? That very funny indeed. Let's just chop down this thing and then I'll get back to rebuilding my storage system. Well, I've been giving this build just a little bit more thought, and I've come to a decision which I'm going to show you in a second. The main problem is that each of these things are going to be 9 segments long, whereas each of these wood ones are 7. I do have 4 in this side. I'm going to be putting 4 in each of here, but it does mean that this segment here is going to be a lot longer, goes down a lot further down this way than this one goes over here. Now, I've been giving what I can store in here a little bit more thought, and I decided that I'm going to continue with the same most of them. Just ignore the orange, it's a placeholder for the concrete. But I've decided that I don't really need to store carpet. It's not something that I'm going to be using a lot, and wool is probably not something I'm going to be using a lot either. I might in the future use a lot more wool for other things, but wool is something I might not have to store, and I do have a place for it over in my sheep farm, so that is I might... Actually, given that, now I thought about it, the wool can actually go into the sheep farm area, into the farming district, so instead of the 9 that I need 9 segments for the red items, I only really need 7, so I'm going to have to go down and fix all that and continue building, but that's a bit of a relief. It means not so much digging and a little bit of readjusting, but that should be pretty quick. Well, after a little bit more building and digging and a bit more of both of those, I've come across a big problem with this design. Now, if I just dig here, you're going to see that there's water, and if we come up quite a little bit more, I'm going to remove this block here so I can actually get in. You can see where we've ended up. We've ended up in the iron farm. Obviously, that's going to be a big problem if we're going to do that, and I can't really go that much further. I need this to go 7 blocks and then 4, and that's going to end up in the hole there as well. And unfortunately, this tunnel that I've got over here aligns very nicely with that hole over there. So I'm going to have to redesign this system, come up with a better idea of how this is going to go. And yeah, so I'm going to have to leave this for a minute and come back when I finish that. Sorry, when I've finished coming up with a new design. And unfortunately, I'm actually running out of blocks to start doing all this with, so I'm going to have to block that up with there. And yeah, so hopefully I can come up with a better design for this thing, so it avoids the iron farm, and I can keep generally what I want this thing to be. And after a little bit of time, I've decided how I'm going to do this. Now, you may know I've already ripped out all the concrete, and that's for a very specific reason. Now, I did try manipulating each of these segments, so there was a segment here, then it would go off in this direction and come back as well, but that would mean I would have to leave a segment of the filler blocks, so these little segments just in front, and that mark the start of every passage. And then that would end up here, and I'd have to bring the redstone around here, and any redstone for this side over here would run under the iron farm, and I don't think I've quite got the room for that. So I've decided to go for the other option which I had, which was to build the what do you call it, these segments here, the decoration bits around here. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So the decoration bits here, and then have the the new tunnel bits going off in this direction. So I have a few in here, the 2 in the middle here, and then the same on the other side. So the same on the other side over here on the other tunnel, and that should be enough to fill in the 16 different things that I need, as well as fill in any extra bits that I still need to fill in with any other blocks that I still need to sort. And now that I think about it, there's quite a few bits that I haven't yet got. There's things like snow, and there's things like ice and stuff like that, but I don't think I'm going to be using that all too regularly yet. And I suppose I can just add them in, because I have left a little bit of a segment on the other side where I can add in sundry items. And we have yet another progress update. We have now finished digging out all this area, so we've now got the red, orange, yellow, lime green and green bits over here. Then I thought this middle section is going to be the darker things, so black, dark grey, light grey and white. And down here we've got the other ones which I couldn't quite fit in, which are blue, cyan, dark blue, and pink, purple, I think this is magenta actually, and purple, with brown on the end. Brown was the one, I couldn't quite figure out where it was, but for the most part these things tend to blend well together, so you can see a kind of a rainbow outfit on this side, and here I tend to try to make them merge quite nicely, and again on the same here. So the 3 blues are on one side and the pinkish purplish ones are on this side, with of course, as I mentioned earlier, the brown being the one I couldn't quite fit in to any of those meldings, so it's just stuck on the end. Now what I've got to do now is dig out, I think it's 7 blocks in each of direction over here, which is a little bit tricky because there's still a river up here, and I've got to put in all the redstone, hook that all up. Now I believe the current redstone line, or hopper line, ends here, so the plan is to bring that down here, bring it all the way around the red, through the orange, yellow, lime green, green, then back here to the dark grey, the black, once again bring it round, and then this is where it's going to get a bit tricky, because from the pink I now need to service both the redstone line and the, what do you call it, the prismarine line, as well as go finish up with the lime, the light grey, the white, and also the quartz, or whatever this is going to be here. So at the moment the redstone line is going to finish here or something, the hopper line that is. So that's still quite a lot of hoppers, still quite a lot of redstone, and still a lot of work to get go. So once again I'm going to go build that all up, and then we're going to come back and see this in its completed state. And here we are, this bit is finally finished up. I've got all the items locked into the hoppers, I've got all the items in the item frames, which may create quite a bit of lag, but I can't really think of another way to do this. And yes, so I believe that's all done, and I did put in some items into the sorting chests up at the top, and they're currently making their way through, so hopefully they make their way through, because as I was doing this there was quite a few problems and I had to take out items and redo them, and it was just a really big pain to have to put all this in. Now I believe at least this sorting system is going to be done, because the hopper line is extremely long and it ends somewhere in here. I'll just actually go around to the other side and show you in a second as I get round there. Yeah, so the hopper line ends over here after having made a really long road. Hopefully there's nothing in here, because that would, yeah, that's good. There's nothing in there, so that is now fully complete, I believe. And unfortunately that's all I've got time for today. It's been a slightly longer episode than normal, but I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope you've enjoyed me continuing to finish up this sorting system. If you have, remember to leave a like and subscribe, and don't forget to keep watching out for my next one. Goodbye!